Welcome to Love Them Knives channel. We're going to talk about the Y-Start LK5015 knife. Thanks for joining us today. Me and Flanagan, Mr. Lucky Man, rubbed the top of his hat. Let's hope don't lose video, audio, have to redo. He's our talisman. He's our lucky charm from Northern Ireland. In any case, got the Y-Start LK5015. This is the 5015. It's a titanium frame lock flipper knife, centered up, no blade play, no lock rock. Really nice long linear design. Big knife, hardened steel insert in the lock bar, VG10 blade, so VG10 steel made in Japan, or it's a Japanese steel, let's put it that way. And you've got this nice little fuller milled in here with holes through it. Nice long blade. You've got a little choil here for sharpening. The ergos on this knife are pretty good, but it's a big dog. It's a big dog. I'll bet this baby's 9 inches if it's ooh, close. Oh yeah, we're gonna call it 9 anyhow. So not quite 23 centimeters. And maybe not quite 4 inches, but really close. Well, yeah, it is. And it's like 102 millimeters. So that's 4-inch blade. That's a good sized knife. I'll bet it's probably 4 millimeter blade stock if it's true to form for Y-Start. And yes, it is, which is like a 0.16. Okay, 0.158. Overall, we got to get our caliper out here because it's a little bit bigger than, well, that should have fit over there then. It's only 0.50. It's not that bad. 12.8 millimeters. So it's a reasonable handful on this knife. Got a nice little back spacer here. Milled titanium pocket clip. I have put it in my pocket and it seemed to go in and out fine without too much pain and agony. But it's a pretty good sized knife. You know, so this is not like some real light carry, grab and go like the Benchmade Bug Out or something like that. This is a bigger, heavier monster. There's your lock up here, about 35%, shall we say. Here's your pass through. It's got some jimping on that lock bar here to assist you, as well as kind of that milling away here that kind of opens this gap up, makes it easier to stick your thumb in there and disengage the lock bar. Okay. And I believe, because I took it apart, it has multi-row ceramic bearings. Of course, here's your steel washers. Here's your lock bar insert with over travel stop, ceramic detent. Here's your blade stop and your pivot, you know, screw and pivot tube. And if you'll notice, see, you got a little rubber O-ring there. And I think there was an O-ring on the back that just didn't come off with this part. So I think there is both ways with that. Of course, there's your little back spacer that's pretty tiny. But in any case, it does give you a pass-through for a lanyard if you want to do that. Of course, right hand tip up, left hand capability of tip up, so you can move that pocket clip right or left hand. It's about typical detent for a flipper knife. Yeah, it's probably about a 5.5, 5 to 5.5. It's a little tough to gravity flip. So this does not gravity flip real easy, not for me at least. And probably because I'm trying to throw it out like that and I'm putting pressure on the lock bar. So It's not like it can't happen, but it's probably, well, it's stiffer than some. Not that stiff, though. You'll notice it. If you get it, you'll go, this is about typical for like a ZT flipper, you know, most other flipper knives, like Wee knives, Kaiser knives, right in there. But it's smooth. Well, it's got multi-row ceramic bearings. It's pretty nice. Nice drop there. Feels good in the hand. The ergos are reasonably good. It's not a tall knife this way, so it doesn't like just really fill your hand, which like this does a little bit more. This is a little taller in here, gives you, you know, you can't hardly beat the ergos on the Paramilitary 2. But this is more of a straight shot here. Good thing that your hand is flexible when the actual knife handle is not. But your hand is, so you can still get good purchase on there. And this doesn't really present a hot spot. Reverse, yeah, and you've got a lot of extra room. So if you've got really large hands, this knife would fit you really well. Here you go, size comparison with the Paramilitary 2. Yes, this is a bigger knife, by 3/4 of an inch. Less than an inch difference between the two of them. So reverse the perspective here. They're going to look almost the same size, but they're not. This is a bigger knife. And let's see what it weighs. Take a look at it. You know, you got a lot of milling here. All up and down here. You got a lot of machine work going on here. It's nice. It's a very, I guess maybe to a degree, it's somewhat of a simplistic design. You know, because they're not doing a lot of intricate things here. The line here, all these little things here and here. But, you know, other than that, and then this cutaway on the blade. Oh, well, let's turn the scale on. But yeah, nice clean look though. The lines flow really well, but it's a big knife. This is not a little gentleman carry knife. So 4.8 ounces is actually, it's fairly light for a 9-inch knife. I think it's due to the fact that it's not really tall here. You know, a lot of knives might be like 1.3 to 1.5 inches, this height, and this is 1 inch, 1.08. Like I said, 27.6 millimeters. So that's not a real tall knife. It's just not. So that may be part of the fact that it's, you know, because it's not weight relieved, as you can see inside here. Yeah. Does it need to be at under 5 ounces? No, probably not. Not for a big knife like this. So it's really not that bad, although we didn't answer the question of grams. So 136 grams. Nice action. Yeah. These are not terribly expensive knives, by the way. They're about $78, something like that. I'll give you a link to why start. I mean, it doesn't come in a very fancy box or anything. Just very plain. Reminiscent to me of the early Tucson boxes in a way. But not a fancy box, not a fancy price. Titanium, obviously you can, this is anodized blue, and you can get it in regular silver. Let me see if I got a piece of paper on that. Here you go. I'll give you the link to their store, and then I'll give you the link directly to this knife. There's just the regular titanium colored, and here's the blue, so you can choose. I chose blue. VG10 blade again, TC4 titanium. Yeah. So these guys, I've ordered knives from them before, so it seems like I always get the knife at least 2 weeks, maybe a little earlier in some cases. Here's my little deal. Okay, so 79 bucks. I don't, I don't have any agreement or anything with these guys. I'm just showing you the knife. I mean, I'll give you the link to their Instagram. I mean, I saw the knife that they displayed, then I direct messaged them through Instagram and said, that's really a cool knife. And they go, here's our link to our site, blah, 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 blah. And so I guess the 5014 is the silver one. The 5015 is the blue one, whatever. They've given actually different model numbers. But ceramic bearings, all that stuff, yeah. I got interested in Y-Start when this, actually before this knife, this was the first titanium one that I ever bought. This is the 5012. 5012, and I thought this was really, really cool. I liked it. It's VG10 blade, pretty darn good action on it, and these things were selling for around 75 bucks, and as low as 45 in some sales during the year here or there. So I mean, that's just a screaming deal. But I remember Canadian Cutting Edge, Jake, up there on his YouTube channel. I mean, check him out. I'll give you a link to his site. He was the one that I saw do the Y-Start knives when they were G10. The Gen 01, Gen 02. They were like $18 to $22 knives, just user beater knives, But I liked the design on them and everything. And so I got one of each of those and reviewed them on my channel too. So I mean, I got introduced to Y-Start pretty much because of Jake, and then people get your attention to it and then you kind of delve in any case. So yeah, and ever since then I've been kind of fascinated. This is just a good looking design as far as I'm concerned. I mean, there's nothing about this design that I hate. They didn't really cut away anything for a landing zone. They didn't really give you any jimping up here. But, I mean, I've seen a lot of jimping that's pretty worthless in any case. So, well, did we cut anything? Come here. Need a piece of paper. Most of the Y-Start knives, come on, really? We got chain migration. Get out of here. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, it's sharp right out of the box. So you don't have to worry about that. Every Y-Start knife I've got so far, maybe I'm just lucky, but they've been really sharp out of the box. VG10 steel is very usable and pretty easy to sharpen compared to the super steels. So yeah, not a bad little deal. Not a bad little deal. I could see a knife like this being 150 bucks. But at 80, 75, wherever in there, depending on their coupons, or if you go through Ebates and get your 3% AliExpress cash back, so whatever. Still, you can carry this one around. It looks expensive, but it ain't. Really nice milled pocket clip, 2 screws in it. I took this apart, put it back together. I do not like the pivot. I wish it was Torx. I wish this side was just decorative. Maybe a D-shaped pivot would be nice. Make this just kind of a nice milled decorative. Don't put anything in here. Backside, that's where you probably should put the Torx and, where the actual screw goes in. The tube should come in through here. I mean, in my estimation, the way I'd like to see it at least. So that kind of thing, more decorative. Other than that, bitching and moaning on that, the rest of it's fine. They're regular cap screws. They're not like machined or anything, flattened, but they work fine. I didn't have any strip screws or anything, no problem with that. Nice. Not that heavy, especially if you compare it, and I'm going to let you go with this thought. Yeah, here's the 5018. So this is the 5015, this is the 5018. This is that World Cup, Russia, World Cup soccer tribute type knife, and of course the soccer ball type of handle, although I like to think of it as honey badger, honeycomb type stuff, right? So, you know, just close your eyes and do the honeycomb. This isn't for the World Cup here, okay? And so, if this was optional to get rid of this writing, this would really be a cool knife. And I'd remove this. I don't even think they need this. The detent's strong enough on this knife. And then you got the, oh, well, and then you got the 5017. This is the 5018, 5015. This is the 5017. And I did take this kickstop off of here. But this is a flamed ano. I've got the one with the kicker on it. But this one almost needs this because this detent is very light. It's very easy. When it's that easy to flip open, that's a little too light on the detent. It needs to be stronger. Thank God this one is. So this one is actually stronger detent. So this really doesn't need that kickstop. I don't like a kickstop. That's a Lee Williams thing. I'm just talking about this thing, this lever. It doesn't need that lockout lever. Let's just call it a lockout lever. It doesn't need it. But in any case, yeah. And if you take it out, then you've got that open notch. Yeah, it's almost too bad. It'd be nice if they made a run of these and just get rid of that lever and don't have the notch. Make the detent the same as here and the same as here, and then you're good. And I think a lot of people would really like this flamed ano. You know, 78 bucks, VG10, titanium, good looking knives, like the designs, don't know where they're going from here, but I keep an eye on Y-Start. They're interesting and they're inexpensive, so it's kind of fascinating. Hey, I'm gonna let you go. Flanagan, what do you think, buddy? Like these Y-Starts? Yeah, of course you do. Any case, check in with us. We'll have another knife review. We'll keep our eye on the Y-Starts. There's something coming our way on the Y-Starts. I'll get with you on that later. Because you know what we do around here. We love them knives. So stay sharp.